Welcome to the Own Your Life podcast, where our goal is to help bring hope, healing, and peace by sharing our experiences and inspiring you to own your life. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Own Your Life podcast. Today is episode 37, where we're going to be talking all about battle drills. And if you don't know what battle drills are, you're going to learn all about them in this next 20 or so minutes that we've got here. And the main thing is that battle drills are used in a wide variety of situations, especially if you are emotionally hijacked, if you are preparing for a presentation, if you're trying to build confidence, maybe you're going through a tough situation, and it's just something that you need to get your mind back on track from whatever it is that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different battle drills you can go through. I know that especially when you're emotionally hijacked, those are kind of one of the biggest things that we kind of lean towards in life, because we're making decisions when we're emotionally hijacked, and we're not coming up with a battle drill to kind of decipher that and to also combat what's going on in that moment. And whenever you're in that moment, what are you doing to really fight that? And I know for me, sometimes there is a big difference between grace and avoidance. And, you need to give yourself grace while you're coming up with these battle drills, but you can't avoid it completely. I know that, you have a tendency to, I had a tendency, I should say, to kind of stuff my emotions and not really deal with them. And really, I was basically emotionally hijacking myself and allowing myself to operate out of my old fears and beliefs. And when you do that, you can't ever kind of progress past that. So for me, one thing I did was started to come up with a breathing battle drill where I'm going to take a deep breath for about 10 seconds. I'm going to kind of let it out slowly, and then I'm going to figure out what I can do in that moment to really ease that situation and kind of fight that back. Or if there's something else going on, maybe I need to take 5 minutes and go listen to spa music or do something else and kind of get my mind right, because I know that there is opportunities in all of our lives to kind of take a serious time out for 5 to 10 minutes or whatever it takes and come back at that situation and really make sure that we address that situation properly. We don't hide it and we don't avoid it, and we're not giving ourselves too much grace where we're not really going to be able to address it.
Yeah, I love that you said that. And I'm sitting here thinking about multiple times that I wish I had developed battle drills earlier in life. They would have helped a lot. And Matt and I have only developed our battle drills in the past couple of years. And where that's helped me the most has been if I've been nervous or maybe too anxious about something. I've used it especially when I've been driving, because I do drive a lot with my job. I am on the road every single day. So there's a lot of things that I see from being on the road. A lot of times that I've gotten cut off, or people speeding around me, or maybe I'm in between semis, and I don't like that. So when certain things like that happen and they, kind of startle me, and, you can feel your heart rate pumping pretty fast, especially if you just avoided a wreck, that what I do is I do breathing techniques. That's just one quick way, and we'll get more into that. But I do breathing techniques to help bring my heart rate back down so that I can get myself out of that emotional state. It's really to help with kind of the fight, flight, or freeze. I like to add that third one in there because I feel like that's also an option. It's not always fight or flight. Sometimes we're just frozen like a deer in the headlights and we don't know what to do, when something like that happens. So I feel like battle drills are something that can be used for everybody. Everybody can have them, and they should have them in every, any situation that calls for that in their lives. I know that when I was younger, speeches were mortifying to me. I was horrified to stand up in front of everybody and give a speech. And I don't know what had happened, but from 4th grade to 5th grade is when I noticed like a huge difference. Because in 4th grade, I gave a speech to where I actually sang a Christmas song, like in the middle of class, and everybody in class jumped in and sang it with me, which was like super cool. It was like a movie. And then in 5th grade, I gave a speech to try to become the mayor of Exchange City. And I got really nervous. And then I cried after that. And it was just, maybe it was just a hormonal thing. I'm not sure. But ever since then, I've just been, well, maybe not so much now, obviously, with us doing a podcast, but from then until we developed battle drills, I had always been really, really, really nervous to stand up in front of people and give a speech. And I feel like if I had had battle drills back then to help calm myself down, that I would have handled those situations a lot better, because I know that, our heart rate gets so high and it's like you can't breathe. You feel like you can't talk in situations like that. And by having a battle drill, you can help combat that, like Matt had said, and that, you can make it be the way that you want it to be instead of being emotionally hijacked and not having control, over your body functions or what you're saying or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, and I think a really good battle drill for anyone giving speeches or presentations or anything like that is when you're practicing that, stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself and tell yourself that you are worthy to give the speech, that you have something to share with the room, that you're going to impact somebody in that room positively that day. It doesn't matter whenever you're giving a speech. It doesn't matter if 100 people take it or just one person takes it. As long as one person walks out of that room after you give your speech and they apply anything that you've talked about, it's a win. It's a win for you. It's a win for anybody who walks out of the room that's been positively impacted by whatever you said. And everybody has something to share. Everybody has something to bring to the table, and everybody has something to impact somebody else with. No matter what your title is, no matter what you're actually going to be speaking about, everybody has something to gain from it. And that's something that you need to communicate to yourself first, because sometimes we go into things that we think we're not worthy of sharing, whatever it is, and that's going to bring down our presentation of whatever is going on in your speech or whatever you're doing. It's going to affect how you communicate it. It's going to affect how the people receive it. It's going to affect your emotional state afterwards. So be careful of what you're communicating to yourself before you communicate to others, because that's going to be the biggest thing that you're going to have to overcome. And I would stand in front of the mirror and just tell yourself that you do have something to share with everyone, and it is going to impact somebody positively, and you are going to be able to walk out of that room and change somebody else's life. And it's also going to change yours, because when you walk out of that room, you're going to build confidence, you're going to have a little bit more courage, and you're going to have a little bit more emotional stability after that, and you can build on that, because that's the whole point of that presentation or speech or whatever, is that you have an opportunity to really build on what you have, and you can continue to build on that courage and emotional stability and also your confidence.
Yeah, and I think the main thing of what Matt is saying is to have your battle drills be positive. I know that should probably be obvious, but you need to speak positively to yourself. So if you are going to be giving a presentation or something like that, or it's a tough situation, what are you saying to yourself? This comes back to self-talk and your thoughts and taking your thoughts captive. Are you speaking positively to yourself? Make sure those battle drills are positive words. I know some people are influenced by pain and by talking down to themselves. However, we've talked about this before, that the repercussions of that are not very good. So if that's something that is motivating you in the time, think about the after effects of that, because it's not going to be good in the long run. So make sure that your battle drills are positive, especially if it's affirmations, things that you're saying to yourself. Maybe coming up with phrases. That's a really good way to do it. So this is kind of the how-to now that you know what battle drills are. So coming up with phrases, maybe it's a Bible verse. If you're a believer, coming up with a couple that you can refer to. Maybe if you're scared, or if you're anxious, or if you're really nervous and you want to calm down, there's definitely verses for everything in the Bible. So just look up whatever it is that you're dealing with, and that can help, especially, in that moment that you need it. So take the time to memorize them, or maybe put it on a note and put it in your car, put it on your desk, somewhere that you're going to see it and refer to it, as often as you need to. And another way, like I'd mentioned earlier, is breathing techniques. And one that I've used that has helped me a lot, I've used a couple different ones, but the one that's helped me the most is you inhale twice quickly and then you exhale longer. So this is something that activates your vagus nerve, which slows down your heart rate and can put you back in a calm state, especially if your heart starts to race. So I've used this a lot during driving. And like I said before, if somebody cuts me off real quick, or there's a wreck and like you have to stop real quick, or whatever it is, something that startles me, I've used that and it calms me down quickly. So I do that 4 times, the quick 2 in and then 1 out. I do that 4 times. And that has helped tremendously to get my heart rate back down, because I don't want the flood of cortisol to my body, especially when I don't need it, and adrenaline and anything like that. I'm very mindful of that. And that's just not something that I want personally, because I know the damaging effects of having that all the time on your body can have. It kind of keeps your body stuck in fight or flight or freeze mode. And I definitely don't want that. And it's also a breathing technique that you can use even when you're at the gym in between sets. It really helps to help you recover faster. And I think that that's pretty awesome as well. That's just something to kind of hijack your recovery rate for when you're working out, so that you can have better gains if that's something that you care about. So those are just a couple ways that I think are very important with how to have the battle drills and what to do.
Those are just amazing battle drills. And I hope that you guys are taking some notes on that stuff, because I think that everybody can really use those in daily life and be able to apply them quickly. And I think that the main thing that we need to understand is that we can master our emotions, but we can still be a slave to our emotions as well if we don't master them. And I think that that's the biggest thing that we need to overcome, especially in today's realm, because there's so many different things that can hijack our emotions right now, whether it be political, job, whatever it is that's going on in your life right now. You can be hijacked by those emotions, and you need to have some type of battle drill to come back to that. And we feel like it's so important that everybody has a clear conscience of what is going on around them, so they can make clear decisions, because whatever is going on around you can make you have a clouded decision if you can't have a battle drill to counteract those emotional things that are happening around you, and also your thoughts that are going to be running through your head. We have to be able to process our thoughts and be able to have a clear emotional slate when we come back to any type of problems. And I think that that's been one thing that a lot of people have experienced in these last, 12 to 15 months, whatever has been going on around you, is been able to emotionally hijack you, whether good or bad. And we just want to make sure that everybody is being able to have the hope, healing, and peace that they need to have in their life. And this is something you can apply immediately, so you can get back on track with whatever you're trying to achieve goal-wise in your life. Whatever you're wanting to do right now is going to be so impactful if you can just have these little battle drills in your back pocket to kind of bring to the forefront.
Yeah. And I think the main thing with owning your life is mental. It is mental. It is your thoughts. It is taking control of the thoughts that you do have. And when something, less than ideal happens, that you have a way to deal with that, such as a battle drill, quickly, so that you can be back in control of yourself. I feel like we all could take more responsibility and be the ones that are in charge of our thoughts and our feelings and what is happening. And to have battle drills is not to push away your feelings. It's important to feel your feelings and not to stuff away, as Matt said in the beginning, that we do need to still give ourselves grace, but not avoidance. You're not stuffing away these feelings as they happen, or situations, and putting them in a corner as if they don't exist. And, don't look at the monster in the corner because it's over there waving at you. No, you need to deal with it before it turns into that. And battle drills can help you with that, so that you are not going to be stuffing away whatever situations that are happening in your life, because we do all go through hard times. And I think it's important that we have a way to deal with it. And we just want to be able to give you more tools to go to, when those things do happen. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated. It can be a small, tiny little phrase. It can be the breathing techniques that we talked about, something like that takes literally seconds, can help change and unhijack you from whatever emotions you're feeling or going through, and help you deal with those in a better, healthier way.
Yeah. And I think that, a part of not stuffing those emotions, it may just be in that moment that you just don't let your emotions hijack you, like we're talking about. And later, you write down what list of emotions you had and properly process those and, say, why do I feel like this? Why did this happen? Why did I feel like this when this happened? And really walk out that feeling and that emotion, because that will help you process better and even come up with a better battle drill for you, because everybody's battle drills are different. But understand, if you don't address the mental and the emotional side of this, it will affect you physically as well, because you will have physical things that are going to possibly come up inside your health because you're not properly processing your emotions. Whether that may be an ulcer, whether that may be mental migraines, whether it be whatever it is, there will be an opportunity that your body will fight against you if you don't properly address your emotions. So this is just something temporary to detach you from those immediate triggers and be able to have a battle drill and then come back to those emotions at a later time in that day, or maybe even 30 minutes after it happens, or whatever it is. It doesn't, there's no time limit, but at the same time, where you can properly address your full emotional scale so you can really walk that out for yourself and have better battle drills.
Yeah, and I want to give a quick shout out to our good friends, Noble and Kathy Gibbons over at EQ for Entrepreneurs. They are the ones that have taught us a lot of our emotional work that we've done and gone through. And that's definitely something that they preach, that you need to feel your feelings and that your feelings are real. You might go through a tough situation with your spouse, with your kids, with a friend, and feel completely different than they did during that time. And that's okay. Just because maybe you were sad or upset or afraid doesn't mean those other people felt the exact same way. But if they did, that's fine too. It doesn't matter, because their feelings are their feelings and your feelings are your feelings. There is no right or wrong. How you feel is valid. And I think that's also important to recognize. I know people put themselves down. I know I've put myself down for, I've given myself shame and guilt for feeling a certain way about a certain situation. And that's not healthy in any way. That whatever I felt during the situation is valid, and I need to process that appropriately. And I think that's just something that a lot of people are not taught. We're not taught how to deal with our emotions. And battle drills is just one part of that. Obviously, if you are suffering from some kind of trauma or some horrific event that you've been through, I would highly suggest going to see a counselor, a therapist to help you through that. And maybe they can give you some battle drills as well. But to actually take the time to work through whatever happened, that's going to be very important, because obviously if it was something on that big of a scale, battle drills might help a little bit, but they're not going to be able to get to the root of it, of what's going on. So make sure that if that is you, that you're getting the appropriate help. Because another thing that Noble and Kathy have said is, undealt with emotions do not get better over time. They actually get worse. If you don't deal with your emotions, your spouse, your friends, your kids will. Everybody around you will be dealing with them if you don't deal with them. So, we just wanted to give you one tool today that's definitely, going to help for more of everyday life and minor things. But obviously, if it's something bigger, that we would highly suggest seeing somebody about that, to get the appropriate help and to get the healing that you need so that you can own your life.
Yeah. I think that there is kind of an older saying that says only your pillows know your full emotions. And, it's a cheesy quote, but at the same time, it is true, because sometimes, we hide a lot of our emotions and only, our pillow knows it at the end of the day. But I think that one of the major things that will help everybody with these battle drills, with emotional states and everything too, is that go to somebody that you trust and get feedback on how you handled that situation. Because sometimes we don't know our blind spots on these certain situations that we're going through, and we need to have an outside input of that feedback. And sometimes it needs to be clear and immediate feedback, because otherwise we're kind of going to continue to repeat that same problem over and over and over again. And if we get good feedback from somebody that we trust that is giving, healthy feedback, not beating you down feedback. And that's why I said it has to be somebody you trust and know that they have your best interest at heart. Because I think that sometimes we go to people that don't have our best interest at heart, and that kind of hurts us as well, especially in our emotional journey. And we know that there is everybody out there that really wants to be better and doesn't want to hurt other people. And we know that hurt people hurt people. So when that happens, it's just a vicious cycle. But if you can get good feedback from somebody who cares about you and wants you to succeed and win, that would be great for your journey in this opportunity to create battle drills in a healthy way for you to address the situations that arise on a daily basis.
That's awesome, babe. And in closing here, I just want to say happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone, as I know this is coming out on that Wednesday. And we just want everybody to be safe, have fun, eat corned beef and cabbage or shepherd's pie, whatever you're into. Maybe have an Irish car bomb, if you're at home, or got a DD that's going to, take you home safely. Which actually the best Irish car bomb I ever had was in the form of a cupcake. Which was fabulous. So we just want to say happy St. Patrick's Day. We hope this was very helpful for you. Please share it with somebody else who needs to hear this. Please subscribe so that we can get the word out there. Rate and review us. And until next time, own your life, because your life is your responsibility. Thank you all for listening. If this added value to you, please click subscribe and rate and review us. You can also find us at Own Your Life Co. on Instagram and Facebook, and ownyourlifeco.com. And as always, own your life, because your life is your responsibility.